can pull your hands out.
And I'll go like this. Okay. Oh, stupid.
All right, here we go. 3, 2,
2, 1.
What? You son of a bitch! Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Stache and Beard Show. I'm Austin Pistulka. That over there is Alan Pilley.
What's up, motherfuckers?
Hey, good morning, because it's freaking early on a Saturday morning for us recording this.
For recording, yes. For being up on a Saturday, no.
Oh, this isn't early for you on a Saturday? Oh, it's 9 o'clock there. It's freaking 8 a.m. for me. I woke up at 7:15.
Well, but we've been up since 8 because we have 3 kids.
Oh, that's right. You know, you being a good parent and all that sort of stuff. I
was still sleeping. Horrible parent.
All right, kids, go wander. Go figure yourselves out.
Pretty much. Go turn your TV on. Sit in your room.
That's right. It's Saturday morning. You've got cartoons and there's cereal in the cupboard.
Saturday morning cartoons suck now.
Do they?
It's not like cartoons when you and I were kids, man.
Well, hold on. Like, what is it?
They remade all the cartoons, but the art is shitty. The jokes are dumb. Yeah. Like, I don't even know some of the cartoons that are on now. They redid the Ninja Turtles. I don't even know what to say. They look like sperm cells with shells on their back. Like their heads, dude, you got to point. Their heads are weird. Like, I don't know, man. They don't have old school Tom and Jerry.
Oh my gosh, I got new Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, look at them. Look at them versus when you and I used to watch Ninja Turtles in the late 80s, early 90s. Like, they're just weird.
Ninja Turtles TV show. Oh my, yeah. Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah,
it's like they tried. It's like they tried to make almost like an anime version, like a Japanese cartoon style of it, and it ended up being it missed the mark, man.
Well, you remember, we used to get up at 6 or 7 o'clock on a Saturday and watch cartoons till 10 or 11, nonstop, and now it's one good cartoon.
Well, that was the thing. When I was a kid, it was on. They would actually have cartoons on ABC, or there was a Saturday morning block where it was all right, this is the kids' time. Parents go sleep in. I know that my shows were a little bit different than yours because most of mine were Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. Those were on when I was a kid on Saturday mornings.
So at that time, I think I'd gone over to Nick. I would start watching cartoons on Nick, Disney. Yeah. They had a bunch of stuff when I was, a kid.
Teen Titans was one of my favorite cartoons.
Never watched it.
Yep. So they've come out with they did come out, I don't know if they're still making it, with a Teen Titans show, Teen Titans Go, which before it was a whole kind of edgy cartoon. It was a different animation style. It was like Batman the Animated Series, how it was kind of darker and all that sort of stuff. And it's really funny because they reference the old Teen Titans in the new stuff, because they're if you want to be rebooted, I'll do it. One of the bad guys is this meta villain, and it's I've rebooted you once, and it cuts to the old cartoon, and they're is that me? It's weird.
I never watched any of those. I'm trying to think even afternoon cartoons. You remember we used to get home, Animaniacs, Tiny Toons, all that type of stuff, Rocko's Modern Life, those are the ones. Now we hear the jokes as adults, and I'm God, this was a dirty show.
Yeah.
Ren and Stimpy.
I was never allowed to watch Ren and Stimpy. Never, ever. That was one that my parents were a hard no on. Rugrats was great. Rugrats was one that my parents would actually watch with me.
Yeah, I was able to watch all those. But anyway, so Saturday mornings is just it just, for me now as an adult, just ESPN. That's literally it. My kids, they have all their cartoons and stuff like so. Yeah. But
I feel
not
that.
like when you and I were growing up.
Yeah. So I need to mention the this change back here. I'm no longer in my dining room. Like the banner is up here. Let me see how much I can move this around. So this is my basement. And
where's the dead body?
Okay, so the dead body, the hanging midget, it's little person, would be in that room. Over there.
Dude, come on. That's a dead body room.
No, of course not. Ignore the page.
Do you go down there in the dark?
Yeah, constantly, because I work here.
You'll go down there at night?
I will, yeah. Hard pass.
I'd have to bring like a forest friend. Like you'd have to walk with me. Like we'd have to go down together. I'm 39. I'm not even lying to you.
The worst thing.
Huh?
The worst thing is that my cats know where all the hidey spots are down here, and if you yeah, absolutely, steps. They will like come running out, and that's terrifying.
Yeah, there's no way I'd be down in that basement at night, man.
It could be worse. The lights are great. I've got most of them turned off, so that way I've got good light. The weirdest thing is that so right above me are like some windows. I'm like not that deep into the ground. I'm more on like the first level. The more that I think about it, because I can like see the street and all that sort of stuff.
So like a split level.
Kind of, yeah. Except our patio is really tall. So the patio comes up to what is our main living floor. And then it's a split level from the back. That's the way to describe it. We have a back door that you can go up. Stairs are in the back of the house, and it goes up. So
how do you get down to the basement?
I walk through the kitchen. Are we on the same page? What? I'm like, no. I don't know.
How did you get down to your basement? Where's the stairs to get downstairs?
All right, so front of the house. I walk up the patio. I walk in. I go all the way to the back of the house, which is the kitchen. I take a right. There are stairs going down, and then I take a left and walk down the rest of the stairs, and the stairs get me to the basement. There's also a door on that landing in the back of the house as a back door.
So now that we have the anatomy of how stairs work, where in that room are your stairs?
There!
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out when that dead body comes flying at you, how quick you have to get from the corner you're in over there to hurry away. That's what I'm getting at. I know how fucking stairs work, dude.
I had no idea what you were so confused on.
I just wanted to know where the stairs were so you could fucking run.
Didn't know I needed a full point over here. Oh my gosh.
I have an exit strategy. I need to know how we get out.
You're not in here. You're safe and sound. You'll watch me die from Florida.
Broomhilda flies at you. Your screen goes black. I got to call Nebraska PD. I got to figure shit out, man.
Absolutely. I appreciate that you have my back on that. Oh, man. Anyway, goodness gracious. So, yeah, I'm in the basement. I've been working on trying to make it like a little home office kind of thing because I work from home Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What did you do to Liz? Why are you in the basement?
Actually, it's more for
out of the kitchen.
So I actually needed it for myself because I am not motivated. I'm not a motivated human being, especially to cold call sales. Like, that's awful. So I knew that I needed to go to a place to be like, all right, now I'm in work mode. And so I was like, all right, cool. Let's make the basement that spot.
So you thought you'd leave your house to go to your house and you'd be motivated to work?
That is correct. You've nailed it. And let me tell you, man, sales through the roof. Crazy. I'll tell you what. As weird as that sounds, that is genuine. I make sure that I dress like as it, not necessarily as if I was going into the office, but nicer. And there is a moment where I'm like, oh man, it's 8:45. I got to get to work, and I walk downstairs.
Hey, it's all mindset, man.
Absolutely.
You ever think about like when people leave and they go sit at Starbucks? That's their office. They go to work mode sitting at Starbucks.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a lot shorter commute than my Thursdays and Fridays. On Thursdays and Fridays, I actually drive to Hastings, which is an hour and a half away. And sometimes even further, because on Friday nights, I do play-by-play for high school sports now.
Yeah. How's that going?
It is the best part of my job. 100%, no doubt about it. Best part of my job. And the reason
so it's tied into your job?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So we have technically 5 stations, and 2 of them are ESPN. They're like simulcast on either station, but we cover 5 high school football games every single day. That's, doing a story about the game, all that sort of stuff. And I have had an absolute blast getting back into doing play-by-play.
That's awesome.
It's so much more than I thought that I would. It's like I forgot how much I loved it, because I didn't do it in Florida. There was no high school football coverage for radio stations in Orlando, especially.
Yeah, you would know that over me. I wasn't big into high school football unless it's my boys that are, that I train,
right?
That were playing and stuff like that. Other than that, I wasn't interested in it, so I didn't, go to watch it.
Yeah. It's for me, like it's hard getting back into it because we cover so many different teams. Like we have a spreadsheet of, 20, 30 teams that are in our listening area that we cover. And I never know what team I'm going to cover which week because we don't know what the good matchups are and all that sort of stuff. But what makes it difficult is just that I haven't been here for so long. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought we lost ourselves there for a second.
I thought so too, but we got back to it.
I haven't touched anything. I backed away from this fucking table too. Not to cut you off, but like real quick, I saw this tidbit this morning. Derrick Henry is the only athlete to rush for 2,000 yards, high school, college, and NFL. And they put up his stat track for high school.
Mm-hmm.
That motherfucker was a beast. He had 4,600 yards, 55 touchdowns, and whatever else. It was on Instagram first thing this morning.
Yeah.
And then, when he played for Alabama and now, obviously with the Titans and such. I think he's with the Titans. Yeah, Titans.
Yeah. Yes, Derrick Henry is a beast. And the funny thing is that there are a number of high schoolers in Nebraska that rush for 2,000 yards, but most of them are 8-man and 6-man teams. Oh, hold on. Have you heard of 8-man and 6-man football?
I've only ever heard of 7-on-7, and that's like practice squad stuff that the kids will do here, like at Brantley and such.
Okay, get this. All right, so Holdridge, there are so many small schools that don't have enough kids to put on to field an 11-man team. There are, if you get to, so there's Class A, which is the big schools, B, C, C1, C2, D1, D2, and D6. Class D. Class D1 and D2 are 8-man it's all 8-man football. So
really,
yeah. And so you have to have, I think, 4 people on the line of scrimmage. The field is shorter; it's 80 yards instead of 100, but everything else is the same. It's just fewer kids, sort of thing. But my brother Eli plays 6-man football, which is a fucking track meet, essentially. But those rules are super crazy. So in 6-man football, you have to have 3 people on the line of scrimmage. They don't have to be in tight, obviously. They can be wide outs. every person is a receiver, center, lineman. Everyone is an eligible receiver. You cannot run the foot as the quarterback. You cannot run the football unless you pitch the ball or give the ball off to someone else, and then they throw it back to you or something like that. Then, again, short field, 80 yards, a touchdown worth 6 points. But if you kick an extra point, that's worth 2, and if you run it in, it's worth 1. Because there are so few kids that know how to kick field goals from the smaller schools.
How long has this been around? I've never heard of 6 or 8 man football.
8-man football has been around for a long time, at least in Nebraska, at least since the 90s.
Really?
6-man football.
Never heard about it in Florida, Texas, Mississippi, nowhere.
I got one comment on my Instagram photo because I did an 8-man game. It was Cross County versus Blue Hill, which I know you have no idea what those are.
Yeah,
but
I traveled all through there.
Yeah, absolutely, Stromsburg, Nebraska, baby. But but I did an 8-man game last week. And then I don't remember where I was going with this, but then I watched a 6-man game yesterday.
You got a comment. Somebody commented on a.
Oh, yeah. So I posted a photo of me like, hey, here's my view from the press box, all that sort of stuff. And someone, one of the listeners from Florida that when I was on 96.9 The Game commented, I haven't heard of 8-man football in years, or something like that. So it's been in Florida, but I don't know if it still is a thing in Florida.
Yeah. I'm trying to think we've always had 11-man or why? So in high school, we had some kids that played both ways. So why is that not, defense, offense? I mean, they get you over from linebacker, get on the line.
Yeah, that's how it is in Nebraska. Most teams play at least, or most of their kids both ways. Especially in 6-man and 8-man. So
yeah. No, I never knew that, man. That's pretty interesting.
It's crazy stuff when football is life and you gotta you gotta field a team somehow.
So because of your job with the radio station, they got you put out doing Friday night football?
Yep, doing Friday night football.
When's the last time you did that?
I did that last night.
I'm saying, did you do it before you ever left for Florida?
I did. So when I was in college, I did Husker wrestling, the Nebraska wrestling team. I did for the Big Ten Network. They would have duels, and I would do the TV broadcast for that, which is so different from radio. And the only radio play-by-play that I did was I had a class when I was a senior where I did a Husker football game, which was a dream come true. It was Nebraska versus Wyoming in 2016. Tommy Armstrong set the career passing touchdown record for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and I got to fuck up that call. Seriously, I knew he had 3 touchdown passes to go, and so I wrote on my stat sheet, touchdown, 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 and I would cross one off each time he would throw one. And I had planned what I was going to say, and it was going to be something along the lines of, Tommy Armstrong throws it in, and that sets the new Nebraska career passing touchdown record. Tommy Armstrong, something like that. What I ended up saying was, Tommy Armstrong drops back to pass, sends it over, and it is caught. And that is, yes, it is. He is now career passing. He's set the record for touchdown passes in a career. We'll be back after this. You're listening to KRNU. Oh, fuck.
And this was on TV?
This was on the radio. So,
yeah?
Look, yeah.
Dude, I'm going to see if we can pull it up and get the audio.
I think I've got it on a hard drive somewhere. See if I can find it.
We've got to drop that or even make that a post to drop into this episode.
Posted of itself for sure. It might be on my website. It might not be as bad as I remember, but I remember it being terrible.
Yeah.
And then the one other My worst call of all time was it was radio for KRNU, once again the UNL radio station. It was women's basketball, University of Nebraska versus University of Nebraska Omaha, and the women for the Huskers had the game up by like 10 with less than a minute left, and they get fouled, get sent to the line, and I'll never forget it. I go, and she steps up to the line, and with ice in her veins, she misses it. We're going back the other way.
You have that one too?
I don't think I saved that one. I'm going to be honest. That one was
those are great.
Too embarrassing to save. So, but yeah, man, it was. Whew.
Well, that's awesome though. So they got you back on the play-by-plays.
Yep, and I've gotten lots of compliments on it.
Do you remember when ESPN held their little contest to get on air, and it was a bunch of people tried out to become the next big anchor on ESPN? And
no,
a bunch of different things. Oh, dude, it was pretty neat. It was like a reality TV show on SportsCenter. And
nice.
So you had to do play-by-play. Like you would go, I would go. How did you and I mingle as hosts?
Yeah.
And then they would do things like, the screen would black out. And you're like, and you would have to make up ad-lib.
Yeah.
So what do you call it? The teleprompter.
Yep.
So we had ad-lib, and we had to look at the screen. We had to call the play, and then you would call the same play, but who did a better job at the play-by-play? It was interesting. It was a pretty neat show.
That's
and
awesome.
I think at the end of it, the guy, to set your salary, you had to answer questions, and the dude ended up missing one of the questions that would have taken him to six figures. So he starts out, never been on TV before, I don't think, $90,000 contract, to be on TV.
Yeah.
Because it was by that time you had to answer correct questions for, a salary boost. But it was a neat show. They only did it.
And that man was Scott Van Pelt. I wonder who. Nah. Well, I don't know. He kind of jumped on the scene, kind of out of nowhere.
I can't remember when Scott came on TV.
Well, because he was on SportsCenter when I was in. He was one of my favorite guys when I was in high school. So
it's funny hearing that. So I was a Dan Patrick, Keith Olbermann fan.
Oh yeah,
that's how far back, dude. When I was 15, 16, when I started watching SportsCenter. Yeah, Chris Berman has been around. I wasn't. I just forgot his name. Black dude. He passed away not too long ago.
Scott. His last name is Scott.
Stuart Scott.
Stuart Scott. Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't a big fan of his at first because it was. I thought he was trying too hard with some of his hip hop isms.
Yeah.
And because it was SportsCenter, I was like, what is this guy talking about? Putting hip hop references into it. Yeah. And then he just kept on with it, and then he became one of my favorites as well.
Yeah.
Dude, that's how long ago all that was.
For sure. All right, we got to wrap up. I forgot to say this at the beginning. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, all that good stuff. This is the Stache Beard Show. We'll be back right after this. Thanks. I got to put the hands up.
Later, motherfuckers. 3, 2, 1.